Well, greetings, students. This is Professor Brennan. Hello, everybody. I'm sorry that we have to have our first class online like this, but we'll try to make it easy for you. I will post this as they requested, so you can watch it during our class time. But also, I will make it available to you as a YouTube link so that you can watch it over again. So that way, in case you miss something, or to help you with the homework. As you can see on the screen here, I have our PowerPoint, which I updated here for Unit 1 for careers on the left. And on the right, we have a Word document that I'm going to also give you. This is where you can do your homework. Now, while I'm going through the PowerPoint, I'll also refer to the Word document so that way I'll help you to how to fill it out. This will be due for homework for this unit. So let's get started. On the answer sheet on the right, please put your name in Korean, for example, Kim Yuna, and also in Korean, Kim Yuna, with your student ID, whatever that is. And then if you look down below here, it'll say watch the video. But the first thing first, Unit 1 careers. We're going to start off with a video. Now, this video is Steve Jobs, how he explains the rules of success. So go ahead and let me start the video for you.
People say you have to have a lot of passion for what you're doing, and it's totally true. And the reason is because it's so hard that if you don't, any rational person would give up. It's really hard, and you have to do it over a sustained period of time. So if you don't love it, if you're not having fun doing it, and you don't really love it, you're going to give up. And that's what happens to most people, actually. If you really look at the ones that ended up being successful, unquote, in the eyes of society and the ones that didn't, oftentimes it's the ones that are successful loved what they did so they could persevere when it got really tough. And the ones that didn't love it quit because they're sane, right? Who would want to put up with this stuff if you don't love it? So it's a lot of hard work and it's a lot of worrying constantly. And if you don't love it, you're going to fail. So you got to love it. You got to have passion. And I think that's the high order bit. The second thing is you've got to be a really good talent scout, because no matter how smart you are, you need a team of great people, and you've got to figure out how to size people up fairly quickly, make decisions without knowing people too well, and hire them, and see how you do and refine your intuition, and be able to help build an organization that can eventually just build itself. Because you need great people around you.
Okay, so let's go ahead and move on. That was just to give you an example of creating a business, what it takes to be successful at a business, which segues right into needing to discuss these questions. So on your answer sheet, it says discuss these questions. How ambitious are you? So on the right, I want you to actually type the answer to this. And it could be anything. So, how ambitious are you? For example, I feel that I'm very ambitious. I can't wait to start my own business because blah, blah, blah. Or I'm not so ambitious. I just want a job so that way, it pays the rent and the bills and I want to enjoy my life. Whatever. There's no wrong or right answer. I just want to hear about how you feel about how ambitious you are. The second question is, do you have a career plan? Where do you want to be in 10 years' time? A career plan would be, for example, I want to graduate by this time. I want to get a job at this type of company in this type of field. I also want to become a manager within 5 years, director within 10 years, etc. Or where do you want to be in 10 years is another way to answer that question. Well, in 10 years, I want to own my own company and have this much money, blah, 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 whatever it is. Again, no right or wrong answers. The third question is, which of the following would you prefer to do? Work for one company during your career, work for several different companies, or work for yourself? The part A, work for one company during your career, means from when you graduate until you retire, work for one company. The second one, work for several different companies. That's kind of work for one company for 4 or 5 years, quit to take a job at a rival company for a pay raise or promotion, work for 7 or 8 years, work for a different company, etc. Or C, for you brave people, would you like to start your own business, be an entrepreneur and work for yourself? So please answer that question there. Part B, when we move on here, oops. Part B. So you're going to look at the activities, which is marked 1 through 7, and you're going to do by yourself. You're going to match A through G. Which of these areas do you work in or would you like to work in and why? So for example, if you look on the answer sheet, part B, making and manufacturing things, look at the A through G, which one of those represents which is the definition. So making, manufacturing things would be E, production. So on your answer sheet here, where there's a question mark, you would just put the letter E. Let's move on to the next slide. So here, part C, what should you do to get ahead in your career? Choose the 4 most important tips from the list. Compare your ideas. Okay, we'll do that later. You'll just basically choose 4 of the 8 here, and I want you to explain why you chose those. For example, if your answer, number 1, is change companies often, you would say, I think we should change companies often because this is an example, I think that it's important to be able to get promoted faster would be to change companies whenever there's an opportunity. Good. Maybe you choose number 2, use charm with your superiors. We like to say that's called brown nosing. That means like kissing somebody's butt so much. We call it brown nosing. But here, that's too much. But use charm with your superiors is flattery. So when your boss comes in, you say, "Oh, did you get a new haircut? Oh, that makes you look so, handsome. Oh, I like your tie. It makes you look so, such like a great leader, etc." That's using charm. So if you put that as your answer, use charm with your superiors, you could answer, well, in Korean society, I feel that managers really like to have employees who suck up to them and who heap praise on them. Those are the people that get ahead faster. That's an example of an answer. So choose 4 of those and then write why you think that's the right answer or the most appropriate answer for getting ahead in your career. Part A, these phrases 1 through 6 all include the word career. Match each of them to its correct meaning, A through F. Use a dictionary to help you. Samsung, that's not supposed to be there. Sorry. Yes. So part A, for example, career move. For number 1, which one of the definitions, A through F, equals career move? So here again, in part A, you would put the letter that matches, that corresponds to career move. So the next part, I want you to look right below, write what you think Steve Jobs means. Write what you think Steve Jobs means about the 2 rules of success according to him. This is based on the video that you saw. He said, you have to be passionate about your work, otherwise you will ultimately fail. What does he mean by that? What do you think he means by that? The second main point he said was surround yourself with talented people. So here I want you to write your answer, what you think he meant by surround yourself with talented people. Let's move on to the next slide. So part B is listen to 3 people talking about their careers. Each person is at the beginning, in the middle, and at the end of their career. So you're going to write your answer below. So let me switch to the audio.
Unit 1. Careers. Track 1. Person 1.
Well, for a long time, I think I was very ambitious, wanting to get to the top and to earn as much money as possible. But then I decided that other things are more important. I recently decided to take a career break. So I'm traveling for a year and doing some unpaid work. I want to see something of the world and look at my options. Everyone at work says it's not a very good career move, but it's what I want to do. All my friends think I'm mad, but I think I have time. I'm only in my 30s after all.
Unit 1. Careers. Track 2. Person 2.
It's been very difficult, I think, to get a start without much experience, you know. It's the chicken and egg situation. You can't get a job without experience, and you can't get experience without a job. The career opportunities everybody talks about are not really happening for me. Maybe the problem is that I don't really have a career path in mind. I'm still not really sure what I want to do in the long term. I've done different things, but they don't seem to lead anywhere. I don't really know where I'm going. Studying at university made a lot of sense at the time, but now I'm not so sure. I don't feel very prepared for my working life.
Unit 1. Careers. Track 3. Person 3.
Well, I suppose I always had a career plan, and for me it seems to have been successful. I first worked for the company part-time when I was a student, part of a work placement, which I organised myself. I always wanted to work in this area, and only really for one company. They offered me a full-time job, and then I worked my way up the career ladder, from trader to associate to manager to director. I'm now a partner. Maybe it's a bit unusual these days to only work for one company, but for me it's all I wanted. It's only been 17 years, but I'm going to take early retirement next year and buy a boat.
Unit 1. Careers. Track 4.
Can you tell us?
Okay, so let me go back again. So here, part C, track 1 through 3, which we just listened to. Listen to these again. And so let me back up. Part B, the 3 tracks that you listened to, it's 3 different people. So it asks who's at the beginning of their career, the middle of their career, the end of their career. So you could say the first person is what? At the beginning, middle, or end of their career, etc. And then we're going to listen again to the 3 different tracks.
Everyone at work says it's not a very good.
Pre-Intermediate Market Leader Coursebook, 3rd edition, by David Cotton, David Falvey, and Simon Kent. Published by Pearson Longman. Unit 1. Careers. Track 1. Person 1.
Well, for a long time, I think I was very ambitious, you know, wanting to get to the top and to earn as much money as possible. But then I decided that other things are more important. I recently decided to take a career break, so I'm travelling for a year and doing some unpaid work. I want to see something of the world and look at my options. Everyone at work says it's not a very good career move, but it's what I want to do. All my friends think I'm mad, but I think I have time. I'm only in my 30s after all.
Unit 1. Careers. Track 2. Person 2.
It's been very difficult, I think, to get a start without much experience, you know. It's the chicken and egg situation. You can't get a job without experience, and you can't get experience without a job. The career opportunities everybody talks about are not really happening for me. Maybe the problem is that I don't really have a career path in mind. I'm still not really sure what I want to do in the long term. I've done different things, but they don't seem to lead anywhere. I don't really know where I'm going. Studying at university made a lot of sense at the time, but now I'm not so sure. I don't feel very prepared for my working life.
Unit 1. Careers. Track 3. Person 3.
Well, I suppose I always had a career plan, and for me it seems to have been successful. I first worked for the company part-time when I was a student, part of a work placement, which I organised myself. I always wanted to work in this area, and only really for one company. They offered me a full-time job, and then I worked my way up the career ladder, from trader to associate to manager to director. I'm now a partner. Maybe it's a bit unusual these days to only work for one company, but for me it's all I wanted. It's only been 17 years, but I'm going to take early retirement next year and buy a boat.
Okay, so that was part B and part C. Part C here is the listen again. Which of the phrases with career in exercise A does each person use? And which of the experiences do you think are common? So go ahead and write your answers below. Now, part D is next. Part D, complete the sentences below with the verbs in the box. Use a dictionary if you need to. Climb, decide, have, make, offer, take. Um, So yeah, so here you would write the answer. For example, number one, employees in large multinationals, the answer is have excellent career opportunities if they are willing to travel. So here in number one, you're just going to go like this, and you're going to type HAVE, for example, like that. And then number two, some people blank a career break to do something adventurous, like sailing around the world or going trekking in India. So here on your answer sheet, just write in which one. It's either climb, decide, make, offer, or take. Number three, one way to blank a career move is to join a small but rapidly growing company. Number four, certain companies blank career opportunities to the long-term unemployed or to people without formal qualifications. Or question number five, ambitious people often blank on a career plan while they're still at university. Or question six, in some industries, it can take a long time to blank the career ladder. So put in your 1 through 6 answers, and that are the words in the box. Now, part E, look at these groups of words. Cross out the noun or noun phrase in each group which doesn't go with the verb in italics. So here, number one, in italics is make. So the possible answers are a fortune, progress, a living. So make a fortune, make progress, make a living, make e-training course. E-training course does not match with make. So you would put your answer here. You can write the correct answers. A fortune, progress, a living. Because it says complete each of the sentences with the appropriate form. So you're not going to add here the e-training course. You're going to write the correct ones that match with that word, with that verb. Make, get, earn, do, take, and work. So next slide. Part F. Complete each of these sentences with the appropriate form of the word partnership from exercise E. So here you have make, get, earn, do, take, work. You're going to use those and put them in here. In banking, you can blank with the big bonuses and retire at 35. Question two, when you blank, you can arrange your own schedule. So this is very convenient when you have children. Question three, people who work in sales often have the opportunity to blank on top of a basic salary. Question four, Luke is ambitious and does not want to be sales assistant in his life. In fact, he hopes to blank and become assistant manager very soon. Sorry, your professor's eyes are not good, so it's hard for me to read small print. Question five. Many students blank when they are at university because it fits with their studies. 6. Goran is 59, but he does not want to blank. In fact, he is taking on more work. Part A. Says discuss these questions in pairs. Well, you're not going to do that. You're going to write your answer. So the question is, what social networking sites do you know and use? So here, what social networking sites do you know and you use? I mean, you know tons of them, but write some that the ones that you use. So for example, I use Instagram because I like to share photos with my friends and relatives or follow K-pop stars, whatever it is. I like using Facebook because blah, 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 blah. And why do you use, oh, okay. The second question is, why do you use them? So here, it's actually, you're going to write why do you use them. The first one is you're just going to say, what do you know? So list all the ones that you know. and then just indicate which ones do you use. And then part two, the ones that you indicated that I use Instagram, Facebook, Vine, whatever, you're going to say why you use each one of those applications. Okay. Now we're going to move on to the next one. It's a video. It's social networking in plain English. You're going to, after watching this video, you're going to write a summary of what the video was about.
Networks get things done. Whether it's sending a letter or lighting your home, networks make it happen. To get from Chicago to Santa Fe, we need to see the network of roads that will get us there. We see that Chicago is connected to St. Louis, which is connected to Dallas, which is connected to Santa Fe. Of course, people networks can help us with finding jobs, meeting new friends, and finding partners. You know how it works. Bob is your friend, and he knows Sally, and Sally's friend Joe has a job for you. This is a network of people, a social network. Yay! The problem with social networks in the real world is that most of the connections between people are hidden. Your network may have huge potential, but it's only as valuable as the people and the connections that you can see. Boo! This problem is being solved by a type of website called a social networking site. These websites help you see connections that are hidden in the real world. Here's how it works. You sign up for a free account and fill out your profile. Then you look for people you know. When you find someone, you click a button that says Add as Friend. Once you do this, you and that person have a connection on the website that others can see. They are a member of your network, and you are a member of theirs. What's really cool is that you can see who your friends know and who your friends' friends know. You're no longer a stranger, so you can contact them more easily. This solves a real-world problem because your network has hidden opportunities. Social networking sites make these connections between people visible. Like a map for a highway, they show you the people network that can help you get to your next destination, whether it's a job, a new partner, or a great place to live. Your network is suddenly more useful. You can get started at these sites: LinkedIn, Facebook, and MySpace. I'm Lee Lefevre, and this has been Social Networking in Plain English on the Common Craft Show.
Well, I'm not sure how many of you still use MySpace, or if any of you ever have. That's probably not so useful, but for using to get jobs or to find jobs or find employees, LinkedIn is an excellent site. You can also find me there if you want to make a connection. That's a great way to be able to use your social network in a business setting. So here, I want you to write a short summary of what was covered in the social networking and maybe what your thoughts are. Remember, again, there's no right or wrong answers. I want to see what you felt you learned from that short video. Now, moving on, you're going to read this article. So first, go over and then read the article. It's inside your book, and then you're going to answer some questions. So you're going to choose out of these explain why you read the article again and choose the best headline, A, B, or C. So there's A, complaining about your job could lose you your job. Facebook profile could damage job prospects, and ambition is key to a successful career. Which one of those is the best headline for this article that you just read? Now, then explain if you chose A, B, or C, why did you choose that one? Why do you feel that that headline is the best representation of this article? Now, part D, according to the article, how can social networking sites make or break your career? Again, just write your answer, why you feel that statement is true. Part E, write a short list of things you should not do on your social networking site pages. You can include your own ideas or ideas that you got from the article as well. And then write your answer below. Part F, should staff be allowed to use SNS sites during the working day? Please write your answer. There's no right or wrong answer, so you can say, yes, I think they should because blah, blah, blah. Or no, I think they shouldn't because blah, blah, blah. Now, the next slide. So here, this is part A. Melissa Fox is the finance director of CSC Media Limited, a television company. Listen to the first part of the interview and answer these questions. The questions are, how does she describe her current company? What was her previous job? And why is it easy to move from sector to sector in the finance world? So again, let's switch over here.
Unit 1. Careers. Track 4.
Can you tell us about your job?
I'm currently the Finance Director of CSC Media Limited, Chart Show Channels Group, which is the largest independent television business in the UK. We have a mixture of 16 channels, some are music, some are children's, and some are movie channels.
What was your previous job?
I was previously the Finance Director of a chocolate pudding business, so very different from television. But the good thing about being in the finance world is that it's relatively easy to move from sector to sector. The basic skills that you need are similar in each case.
Unit 1. Careers. Track 5.
Okay, so you listened to track 4 with Melissa, so please answer questions 1, 2, and 3. Now, part B, use the CD in the back of your book, which I'm doing right here. It's on YouTube. If you type in market leader pre-intermediate audio, it comes right up on YouTube. So you can listen if you don't have the book, or if you photocopied the book, then you can, it has all of the audio files here. As you can see, it's 2 hours and 40 minutes long. So listen to track 5, 1.5. Listen to the second part of the and complete the extract below.
How did you get into finance as a career?
When I was a student, although I was studying chemistry, I thought I would like to do something different afterwards. And I actually did a summer internship with one of the big accountancy firms, which was an excellent way to get an understanding of what the job would be like. I started off as an auditor, and it was through that experience that I got my first job.
Unit 1. Careers. Track 6.
So let me just open that again. So if you look back here, that was track 5. So here, when I was a student, although I was studying, then blank. So number 1 here, you would, where it says insert answered here, that's the answer for the blank right there. I thought I would like to do something blank, that's number 2, afterwards, and I actually did a summer blank, that's number 3, with one of the big blank, number 4, firms, which is an excellent way to get blank, number 5, that I got my, or of what the job would be like. It started off as an auditor, and it was through that blank that I got my first job. That's number 6. Now, part C. Melissa is asked if she's had a good or if she's had any good advice during her career. Listen to the third part and number these points in the order in which she mentions them. She mentions maintain clarity, to be able to see the key point and the key decision you have to make, and do not overcomplicate things. Which one does she say first? You would, if it's, for example, if she says maintain clarity is first thing she says, then put a 1. If it's the second thing she says, put a 2. If it's the third thing she says, put a 3. So there's going to be a 1, a 2, and a 3. So let me go back to track 1.6.
Have you had any good advice during your career?
Yes, I've had lots of advice during my working career. I think the thing that stands out is really not to overcomplicate things. Especially in the finance world, people can get bogged down in a lot of detail, and it's important to try and maintain clarity and always be able to see above all the numbers that you're given and all the data, and what is really the key point and the key decision you have to make.
Unit 1. Careers. Track 7.
Okay, moving on to part D. Listen to the final part and decide which was the interviewer's question, A, B, or C. So, what was the most interesting question you have been asked to interview? Write your answer. What is the key difference between people who work in finance and those who work in research? Write your answer. How would you advise people who are starting their careers? So that is track 7, which is here.
What I've found in coming across people who've applied for positions in the companies I've worked in is the key difference is people who've done a lot of research on the companies that they've applied to. People have taken the time to not just read company accounts, but research on what the company is moving into, and are able to really ask those interesting questions at interview, and makes all the difference. So I say research is the key.
Unit 1. Careers. Track 8.
Okay, so that was part D. Now part E, it says in groups, but you're not going to. It says in groups discuss these questions. Here, I just want you to write your answers of what you think. So the first question was, what do you hope to do in the future in your career? So here you can write whatever you want. Maybe you don't have a good idea, but maybe you have a dream of how you envision your future job and how you're going to work. So just write a paragraph about that, or a short paragraph. Do you think there is an ideal career for you? What is it? Why? For example, you could say, I think the perfect career for me is going to be accounting because that really fits my character. I love numbers. I love, I think very black and white. I like to find answers to it and whatever it is. Or you could say, for example, I see myself as a marketing manager because I love doing promotions. I really like meeting people, making advertising plans, and I'm very creative, coming up with things. Whatever the answer is, there's no right or wrong answer, but please put down what you think is an ideal career for you. Number 3, what is the best advice you have been given during your career or during your studies? That could be advice from your parents, from a professor, from a friend, anything that's related to your career or to your future career, or to even to why you're studying business or why you're a business major. Now, the next slide is modals, and it has to do with ability requests and offers. Now, if you look at part A, you're going to rearrange the words to make questions from a job interview. Then decide whether each question is making a request, making an offer, or asking about ability. So I did you a favor. I wrote everything here for you. So you just have to write the answer. For example, number 1, can I a drink question mark. So here you make a question. Or it's regarding either an ability, a request, or an offer. So here, those words that are jumbled up make, "Can I get you a drink?" question mark. Well, that is a request. B. A would be ability, B would be request, and C would be an offer. So the second one, email address, your confirm I could question mark. Again, you're going to type an example like this. Number 1 answer was, "Can I get you a drink?" question mark. B, you're going to make a new sentence and write either A, B, or C in parentheses to indicate either A, it is an ability, B, it's a request, or C, it's an offer. So go through 1 through 9, and then we're going to move on. So part B, match the questions in exercise A 1 through 9 to these interviewees' answers A through I. So here the answers are, it's 60,000 a year. I don't have a euro symbol, so I use dollar symbol, but anyways, doesn't matter. B was not very well, but I'm doing a course next year. C, I can let you know next week. D, thank you. A cup of tea, please. E, the address is correct, but I've got a new mobile number. F, I'd love some, thank you. G, well, I'm currently supervising an HR project. H, yes, I can speak Korean and Japanese. I, my notice period is 2 months. So again, you're going to at the end, it's 60,000 a year. You can put in parentheses either what letter it is. It's either A, B, C, D, E, F, G, or H, I. Those are going to be from the exercise A that was before, right? So yes. Now Part B. Sorry, what I just do? Okay, right. Next slide, match the. Oh, part C, because it's pair work, so you can't really do. So why don't we go ahead and skip part C, and then we'll go to the next slide. This is telephoning and making contact skills. So here, if you look at the part A, what kinds of phone calls do you make in English, and what useful telephone expressions do you use or do you know? So nowadays, you're a student, you're not working in a company speaking English, but you could either A, write it like maybe you speak to an English speaking friend, and what phrases do you use on the phone when you talk to them? Or it could be simply you could just pretend that you work in a company, and then you could use phrases that you think that you possibly would use. There's no right or wrong answer. So feel free to put whatever phrases in English that you use often. Part B, listen to 3 phone calls and answer these questions. And you're going to answer the questions, what is the purpose of each call, and do the callers know each other? So let me go back again to the audio.
Good morning, VTS. Which department, please?
I'd like to speak to Karina Molinar in Human Resources, please.
Thank you. Hold on. I'll put you through.
Hello, Human Resources.
Hello, is that Karina Molinar?
Speaking.
Yes, I'm phoning about your advert in Careers Now. Could you send me an application form, please?
Certainly. Can I take some details? Could you give me your name and address, please?
Yes, sure. It's Sophie Boiteau, which is Boiteaud, and my address is...
Unit 1. Careers. Track 9.
So that was track 8. That you should be able to answer the questions here, which I put here. So can I talk to? Then the blank was here and a blank was here. So you can see I'd blank to. She said I'd like to speak to. So you put like and speak as the answers. Then the next line she said was just a moment. Blah 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 blah. Thank you, blank blank. So you would put a word here and a word here that she said. I'll connect you. I'll blank blank blank, which is I'll blank 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 here. Am I speaking to Karina Molinar? Hello, blank blank, Karina Molinar. Next one was yes, it's me, blank. Again here, yes, it's me, blank. The reason I'm calling is blah 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 blah. Yes, I'm blank blank. Your whatever. The last one was, can I have your name and address? Blank 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 blank. Your name and address, please. So just fill in the missing answers. Part D, listen to the second call again and complete the sex track. This is track 9. Hello, then you would put, could I speak to Giovanna, please? Blank blank, she's not here at the moment. Can I blank a blank? Yes, please, blank blank. Johan from Intech, blank you blank. Her, I won't be able to blank the training course on Saturday. She can blank me blank. If there's a problem, I'm blank 019149800051. So let's listen to the tape script.
Hello. Could I speak to Giovanna, please?
I'm afraid she's not here at the moment. Can I take a message?
Yes, please. This is Johan from Intech. Could you tell her I won't be able to make the training course on Saturday? She can call me back if there's a problem. I'm on 0191 498 0051.
Okay, thank you. Bye.
Okay, well, the last slide actually is that's not included as part of your homework. And then the next online presentation that I'll do, we'll cover the the case study and also the writing assignment that goes along with this. This case study for Unit 1, we're going to do during one of the Saturday courses that it's a postponed makeup. Same thing. The second week, we'll do 2 more online lectures. We'll cover the case study. I'll discuss it and talk about it, ask you questions to think about. And I'll also go over the writing file and we'll talk about how to do the writing assignment. And then case study 2 for Unit 2, we're going to do on the Saturday makeup again. I'll discuss with you how we're going to do the Saturday makeup. And remember, when this assignment is going to be due a week later after you watch this presentation, you'll have to upload it to show that you did it on time within 1 week of watching this presentation. But I want you to print it out and bring it to our first class so I have a hard copy of it. Remember, do not copy each other's papers. If I feel that you have copied somebody else's paper, you will receive 0 points. So you need to do it yourself. And as I said, there are no wrong or right answers for most of those questions because it's asking your opinion. So please, I'm not grading you on your spelling, your grammar, but I do want you to fill it out, okay? I hope you all stay safe, and thank you very much for listening to this first online lecture.